My ex tried to cheat. It didn't work out for him though. After some time, my ex would sleep with his phone in his pocket, a weird red flag, but I never said anything. When I noticed he wouldn't even pull up his phone in front of me, I knew something was up. One night it slipped out of his sweats, and I woke up with it near my legs. Honestly, I was going to put it on the charger, but I saw he had a bunch of notifications and messages from a dating app. Man, I wanted to slap him awake. But I didn't. So, I created a profile using a friend of mine's pictures, whom he never met, and I had her approval. She was his type 100%, and I knew he loved blue eyes. So, when we matched like I knew we would, we got to chatting. We talked for about a week before I suggested meeting up. Flirting, sexual stuff. He told her, me, that he was single and lived with a friend. So, I suggested he pay for a hotel room so we could duck. He said he would. We picked a spot. Mind you, I paid for everything because he was unemployed after losing his job. He drained my savings account over the year with manipulation. We're family, we take care of each other when we're in tough spots, he would say whenever I told him I didn't have extra money. I paid my student loans, all bills for a one-bedroom apartment, and the food. This boy had the balls to ask me for money in person. That his mom's birthday was coming up and he wanted to buy her something nice. So, I gave him $50. Just because it was hilarious at this point. I still think about the smile on his face at that moment. That weekend he left. He said he was going to his mom's and would probably stay the night. I kissed him goodbye and told him to have a great time. Then I packed all his stuff and left it outside. I live in a US city, so it went fast. Got the locks changed. He messaged me a few times on the app. I told him I was running late because I wanted to look perfect, but I was coming and so sorry. My friend also sent me some sexy pictures to send him that didn't fully include her face. She's a real one. I even talked him into jerking off and sending me a video. Then after making him sit until about 1 a.m., I messaged him on the dating app a picture of his belongings being rummaged through by a homeless man. And to enjoy his stay in a hotel. As soon as my phone rang, I blocked his number and went to bed. He was outside of my door the Monday I came home from work. Ugly, crying, begging. Told me he was homeless and had nowhere to go. When I wasn't having it, he got angry as usual. Once he started grabbing and trying to get into my apartment, I called the police. Filed a restraining order because he did threaten my life, and my pets, for putting him out. Found out he ended up moving a few hours away from where his only family is, and has a job. Hopefully, he learned something. Damn, you are one bad bish. You need to take this skill and teach others. You are one Jedi Master. I bow down to your strength and discipline. Always pass on what you have learned. Yoda. Amen, Master. Found my husband and little sister in bed together. Me, 22, and my husband, 22, had what I thought to be the most amazing, healthy, and happy marriage. We have been together a little over 2 years but have known each other for 7. We met in high school. But, never dated. I have a young son. His bio dad is what you would call a deadbeat. My husband stepped up and has been his father since he was 4 months old. My son and family adore my husband. He reminds everyone of my father who passed 4 years ago, suddenly of a heart attack. On our living room floor. My family and husband became extremely close, super fast. My husband and I started trying for a baby a couple of months after we started dating. But sadly, didn't end up conceiving our son until 15 months after we started trying. Dealing with infertility was extremely bad mentally for me. I spent a lot of time crying into my husband's chest, after about the 7th negative pregnancy test in a row. We were elated when we found out I was pregnant with our second son last November. The global situation happened and put a bit of a damper on my pregnancy. So, I had my younger sister, 18F, over to our apartment a lot to keep me company while my husband worked long hours due to the global situation. My siblings and I, there are 4 of us, are all extremely close, but my little sister and I are by far the closest out of all our siblings. I raised her after my mom abandoned us to go and live with her boyfriend, 2 months after our father died. Would do anything for her at the drop of a hat and would defend her and be on her side no matter what. One weekend in April, my husband decided to unwind and have a drink for the first time in almost a year. He is a pretty straight edge. My little sister was over, so I went out and bought some wine for her to drink so they could have a drink together since I was pregnant and obviously couldn't drink with him. While we all played games and watched movies. It started getting late and I was tired, so I went to bed. I woke up around 1 a.m. and didn't see my husband in bed next to me, so I got up to go see if he was maybe playing video games still. I didn't bother putting my glasses on. When I got out to the living room, I saw with my extremely blurred vision him standing bent over her, while she was laying on the couch. They were both clothed, but it made me feel extremely uneasy and sick to my stomach. I asked what they were doing, and my husband said he was talking to her. I backed to the bathroom and started crying but just thought was ridiculous and hormonal and tried pushing it to the back of my head. Only I couldn't, the memory consumed my every thought and was driving me insane. But I didn't have proof that anything had happened, and I didn't see them doing anything so, again, I just told myself that I was being crazy and that they would never do something like that to me, especially not while heavily pregnant. My husband started to become increasingly distant and just plain nasty to me. Seemingly always finding something to fight with me about. Not showing me any attention or affection or sex. Which was extremely out of character and unlike him. I brushed it off as him being stressed about the new baby. My husband and I bought our first home in May, and I wanted all our rooms painted before we moved in. My husband agreed, and my sister offered to help him. Fast forward to July, after 3 months of feeling like something just wasn't and that my marriage was failing. I woke up one Monday morning 9 months pregnant, to an empty bed, my husband nowhere in sight. My little sister had spent the night. I put in my contacts and then went into the living room to see if he was up playing with the new kitten we had gotten the night before. No sign of him, my stomach dropped. The door to my unborn child's nursery was open, where my little sister was sleeping. My heart sank. My feet felt like cement blocks, but I slowly started walking toward the room. Only to see my husband on his knees giving oral to my baby sister in our unborn son's nursery. The first words out of my mouth were, "I ducking knew it, get out of my house." I'll never forget the look on their faces. I was so heartbroken and traumatized. I ran to our master bathroom and just stood there in shock. My husband eventually came in and tried to talk to me. I threw everything within reach at him and told him to get out and leave me alone. He didn't, so I pushed past him. The rest is a blur, and I don't remember much of it. Except for hiding his keys so he could drive her back to my mom's house, he ended up doing so anyways. I am still so hurt and devastated but can't bring myself to leave him even though I am disgusted, beyond hurt, and devastated by this. I have only spoken to my sister a few times, trying to get answers as to why, how the duck she could do something like that to me of all people. Neither of them has an answer, and they had sex almost every time she was over, and I went to sleep. I have no want or need for a relationship with my sister. I truly feel she owes me more loyalty than anyone on this planet. How do I heal from this ultimate betrayal from the two people I'm closest to? Edit. Just to clear up some confusion. My husband did not groom or take advantage of her. She said it was 100% consensual. My husband and my sister have both said there were absolutely no romantic feelings involved in it either. Just purely sex. Also, my little sister has an extensive history of sleeping with grown men. But I never thought she'd cross the line and sleep with my husband. I am by no means taking the heat off of him by saying this either. Currently, a man, 27, is serving prison time for getting caught having sex with her in the back of his car when she was 15. Also, the dude had the same name as our older brother. She's just got serious issues. A couple of years back I found out she'd been using my sex toys while I was at work. Obviously grossed me out and I threw them away. She's deranged and has boundary issues. But again, I genuinely never thought she'd do anything to try and ruin my marriage or relationship with me. She also holds an extremely special place in my son's heart. I don't get why she'd chance to ruin it. I'm so confused honestly. Just caught my boyfriend cheating on me. I drove 3 hours to surprise my boyfriend with a gift for passing all of his finals. We go to the same college, but since classes are online, we're long distance. We see each other often though and have surprised each several times. Welp, when I showed up at his apartment, his roommate looked like he didn't want to let me in. He said, "Sorry," and then shuffled off to his room. I didn't think much of it and proceeded to my boyfriend's room. I opened the door and found my boyfriend of 2 years ducking another girl. I know her too. She's his best friend's girlfriend. I closed the door and drove right to his best friend's apartment and told him what I saw. I almost cried, but now I'm good and I'm sitting in the parking lot of my boyfriend's apartment complex while my friends get my things out of his place. Ah, what a great Sunday.
Like and subscribe for more ducking content.